Hey everybody, welcome to WCR Nation. My name is Jersey, and thanks for coming to hang out with us today. If it's your first time here, thanks for checking us out. We have a ton of other episodes to listen to or watch. If you are a return viewer or listener, double thank you, because it's because of you that I can continue to do the show. So, thanks for being here. If you're new or not new, I want to let you know that this is going to be available via podcast. So it's on iTunes, it's on Google Play, it's on SoundCloud, or if you are more of a watcher or a player on your computer, this is available also on YouTube, and will be available on Facebook as well. Also, if you want to see all of the episodes and the ways to get them, go to windowcleaner.com/radio, and you can see the plethora of awesomeness that is WCR Nation. So watch, listen, but most importantly, please comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Tell me I suck. Tell me I'm wrong, or tell me you like what we're doing. But most importantly, talk about the shows. I love it when you do. And maybe you'll get a shout out on the show. So, starting off with those shout outs, I just want to start with saying what's up to, on YouTube, Jason Thomas, watches the show, commented. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Also, Kevin the Window Cleaner, who comments on all of the shows. Thank you for always watching and telling it to me straight. Also, thanks for Ryan Edrington, who texted me and told me he doesn't know who I am and why should he listen to me. So that'll be an upcoming episode that we're going to be talking about kind of how I started business, what I did to get into it, size of my business, all that fun stuff. That will be in another episode, but thank you for sending me some messages. If you'd like to send me any messages, my number is 862-312-2026. You can call me, text me, whatever you'd like on that number. But I am a rep for Window Cleaning Resource, so if you need any window cleaning or pressure washing supplies, hit me up, and I'd love to put that in for you. If you're more of a email guy or gal, it's josh@windowcleaningresource.com. So, this episode, I wanted to start with something that I should have talked about last week, and I didn't. I didn't really want to bring it up because it's a sad subject, but a lot of good can come of it. And that's if you are on any of the forums, Facebook groups, anything, you've seen the Diego Garcia Fund. Diego is a good friend of mine. He's a good friend to everybody. Everybody knows him. Really, really good dude. He ended up falling from a ladder, and he has been in the hospital since. So, Indira has set up a fund for his medical expenses. So, to start off, I know you may or may not have known or met Diego, but if it's anything that you want to contribute to, please do check that out. I'm going to put a link below this video so you can click directly to it. Otherwise, if you are on GoFundMe, it will be Diego's Medical Expense Fund. Definitely help him out. And it brings a serious question to light, is safety. Safety is always on our brains, and our episode last week was going to be on safety, but I still feel like with him being in the hospital from this, I don't feel like now is a good time. So we are going to be pushing that show down the road. So watch for that. But please, if you are out there, remember, ladders are our most dangerous tool. High rise, mid rise, low rise, anything. Again, being a salesman or a sales rep, take it with a grain of salt. But that's where water fed poles always come in. It really gets you off there. But just be careful, whatever you're doing. That's all I want. And if you can donate to Diego's fund, that would be also amazing. But I have to go one more time. Really, it's technically two more shows. One more show. What am I saying? One more show before the huge convention. The huge conventions, don't worry about the dings and rings and whatever else. But the huge convention starts. It starts the 18th and 19th. So if you're not registered, man, it's going to be super, super close for you as far as getting tickets, unfortunately. But what will be nice is that if you are watching this late or listening to it late, then you're going to be able to see all the awesome pictures that are from the event. Hopefully it gets you to want to go to the next one. But you can buy tickets at the door. If you're still before August 18th, you are able to buy tickets at the door. But you should be there. If not, it's an amazing event. And hopefully we're going to talk a ton about it in next week's show after the convention. And I don't know if it'll be the next week or the week after, but hopefully very, very soon. And I would love nothing more than to show you guys pictures and video and everything else from it. The conventions are amazing. The next one coming up is going to be, I believe, in February, and that is the ICE show. So we will be talking about that show. But on to today's episode of Nation is going to be all about acquiring new customers. And this actually really is across the board for any industry that you're in. Window cleaning, pressure washing, landscaping, any service industry really has kind of the same core of advertising and generating for leads and getting new customers. Because the more customers you have, obviously your business will be better, but the more secure your business will be. Because there will be a loss, you will have people move. You will have people who found somebody cheaper. You'll always have that. So you always want to continue to have new customers coming in. And here's the phrase for the day is sell or die. And this is a true fact kind of saying, because if you have 100 customers, just for even numbers, and you don't sell any new customers, next year you're going to have 90, right? No, 10%. I do way better than 10% retention. You might, but there are still people who are going to pass away. There are people who are going to move. There are people who are not going to do their windows because of financial burden that year. There are people who just won't think about it. There are people who get a different phone number and you're no longer able to contact them, or they lose your number. There's a ton of different reasons that somebody may not use you. And if you're not selling and you're not getting new clients, then you will die. Your company will die. If you disagree with that, please do comment on it. But that is a strong philosophy of mine. Sell or die. If you're always out actively selling, you will continue to strive and get better and healthier as a company, right? Right now you may be full, but if you don't go find food or eat food or get food available to you, you're going to die. Eventually it's going to all run out and you're not going to have anything. It's the same thing with sales. It's the same thing with new customers. And I'm not going to get into kind of the whole funnel process and that concept of how customers come in, they get sorted and separated to get into that very concentrated lead, if you will. But here's a couple different ways that I've used in the past that people are talking about on windowcleaner.com /community, which is the forum, or any of the Facebook groups. A lot of people are talking about this. I would love to know from you too, which one of these, where do you get most of your customers from? I love that kind of knowledge. But for me, there's two different ideas. And it's either you have time or you have money. You really don't have both of them. If you do, awesome, high five for you. You're doing amazing. But for the most part, you won't have both of those. What happens is the more money you have, the less time you have because you're so busy. You're so busy, the ball is rolling, your business is doing great, you have so many other things in your brain, but you got all the money that you need to do advertising. Or if you're just starting off, or starting new, or you're in a slow time of the year, or whatever, then you have more time than money, right? You're not making a bunch of money, you're not cash rich right now, but you may only have a job or two a day, or you may go a day or two a week without having work. So you have more time than money. Time is just as valuable as money on a lot of kind of aspects of business. It really is. Because if you have the time, then you necessarily won't need to spend the same money to make the same things happen because your time is there. Now, This episode was going to be called Would You Fire Yourself? And we were going to go a whole nother direction. But that's always a pretty smart concept, is would you fire yourself? Are you doing enough with your time to make you a valuable person for your business? But if you have more money than time, that's really where I'm going to start this, right? Because there's a lot of companies going into fall or coming out of spring. Everybody's pretty busy, right? No matter what season you are in, you may be a little bit too tied up with different things, especially if you're an owner-operator where you're doing all the work. But when you're cash rich, you need to spend that money. So a few different things that you can do are a Groupon or an Angies List big deals. That's a first and foremost. A lot of people ask about those. There's also a lot of people who aren't super favorable to those because they take such a big chunk of your money. Groupon, for instance, you can talk them down for the most part to get a 60-40 split. 60 to you, 40 to them. A lot of people are doing 50-50 splits, and this is how it works. When you do a Groupon, they want you to at least discount your services by 50%. So if you do 20 windows for $200, right? 20 windows for $199 is a very popular window cleaning kind of bid out there, right? Then you're going to have to do 20 windows for $99. That'll be your deal. So right there, you're taking $100 off of your price, $100. But now 50% of the deal itself, when you get paid, will go to Groupon. So now your $200 job, you are only making $50 of the deal. Now, sure, those numbers can change a little bit if you're 60-40 or whatnot, but it's now up to you to upsell. It's up to you. You have the customer come to you. I want this deal. It's up to you to try to upsell, because an upsell is done after the fact. And we talked about add-ons, which are all upsells, right? If somebody hires you for window cleaning, sell them on concrete cleaning, house wash, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, anything you do. But that money is really where you make your money. It's paying to get a customer in. You're going to be not necessarily losing, but you're sure as heck not going to be making what you should per hour, because you're only making $50 on this customer. And with a Groupon or an Angies List, which Angies List is a little bit different, but you're going to have a really, really crappy retention. It just is that way because those people came to you because they got a window cleaning for $99. They got a half off deal. So what kind of client are they? More than likely, they're going to be a client that only wants a deal and they're always searching for the deal. And the only reason their trigger was triggered was because you had the amazing deal. Now, nothing really wrong with that, but you'll have to work a little harder to keep them. You have their phone number, you have their email, you have all the information that you will be able to continue to sell to them and call them and email them and send them letters. Whatever you do to keep the retention up, you'll have to do double as hard with them because they already have it in their brain that you're going to be too much. Because next time you're going to charge them full price. You're already doubling your price. It's very hard to have a higher retention. Now with an Angies List, the nice benefit to Angies List is that they're so review driven that having Angies List big deals, which Dave Carroll, if you do anything with Dave or watch any of his stuff or talk to Dave, Dave was a guy who was notorious for being awesome with the Angies List big deals. Back in the day, like I would talk to him relentlessly about it because he would do it so often. And his big thing that he said to me was that an Angies List big deal, even though it's the same breakdown as far as half price and then half goes to them, is that you're getting reviews. And reviews are what's seen by other people. And Angies List, they pride themselves in being part of a network that reviews. And people see Angies List as kind of authority on services. So now what you're doing is you're still doing the work for the same quarter of the price, but you're getting a review, a very valuable review out of cleaning. So you're kind of paying for a review, but you're also allowing others to see that. So there's a little bit more of a value to that side of it. And I don't know audience-wise and if it's the same as a Groupon or Living Social is another one. It's the same concept all the way around. But those are some options that you pay a high price for, But the other thing is you only pay, and you don't even really pay, you just don't make as much, but only when somebody comes in. You don't have to pay them $1,000 a month to advertise for you. They're advertising for you, and some people will call, not even doing the deal, they'll do it right through you, which is even better because then you're going to make half the cost instead of a quarter of the cost. But you only pay when you get something. So that is a better lead, I think, because you're not paying and not getting results. You could send out, 10,000 EDDM with the wrong colors, schemes, the wrong time. This time of year, you could send out 10,000 pieces and get the crappiest return that you ever thought you'd even be able to get. But that's completely different. You pay for it with the gamble that you're going to get something. With an Angies List big deal, with a Groupon living social, that type of thing, you're only paying to get somebody. So pros and cons of those ones. It's free to sign up to do those, but you may have a little bit of waiting. So now's the time, like we talked about last week, that you would want to start thinking about that kind of thing. But give them a call. Try it out. It's really, really good, I think, for newer businesses to get in. They get to do their practice, getting more efficient on Windows. They don't have a lot of clients, because no one wants to step over dollars to make pennies. So if you have a ton of clients, you don't want to go with a ton of Groupons because now you're making a quarter of what you would with anybody else to do the same amount of work. But if you have voids or you need a big influx of customers or you're amazing at upselling, it's something to definitely look into. On the same type of concept with a company that would actually do the advertising for you, you'd be looking at lead generators. That would be a Home Advisor, Yelp, or Thumbtack. Thumbtack and Home Advisor are actually two different companies, and what they do is they send you leads. So Jane Smith goes on to search window cleaning. Home Advisor is amazingly well SEO'd. They're going to pop up right at the top. Hey, click here. We'll give you 5 leads. Absolutely risk-free. You can price check, blah, blah, blah. Jane Smith will put her information in, and then they send it to you. Now, here's where the money part comes in. Every area is different, so what I'm about to tell you may not be your necessarily area. But I've been with Home Advisor. I'm no longer with them. When I switched companies, they wouldn't transfer it over. They wanted to charge me a startup fee again, and I was with them for 10 years. So I had a moral obligation against that stupid Home Advisor. But what they do is now you will join. There will be a joining fee. And then every time they send you a lead, you pay the lead price, which is about, say, $25. Okay, $25 every time they send you a lead. What they do is they send you the name, the phone number, the email, all the information, even what work needs to be done, the count of windows, everything is sent to you for that $25, which, even if you don't get the job out of, you have somebody who is interested in services, somebody who you could mail to, somebody who you could email to, which I don't know that that's necessarily legal because they didn't give you authorization to continue to email to them. But if they're on the no-call list, you could call them. But I like to just mail them something and avoid all that other stuff. But you know that Jane Smith, even though they hired somebody else, gets their windows cleaned. So it is a valuable bit of information that you're going to get. The other thing with a Home Advisor or even a Thumbtack is the speed of it. So when Home Advisor sends you a lead, they give it to, say, 5 people. The first people to come back to them is usually the one that can land it. If I'm the first one calling, I can probably land it because of how I can negotiate. And if from there, every time somebody calls, they're going to say, hey, I'm sorry, I already chose somebody, thank you, though, and hang up. So speed is really the key. They can text you that. You can actually click on it, check it, see if it's something that you want to bid on. You're going to pay for it either way, so you might as well. But you can tailor those in also to specifically what you want to do as far as services, service areas, and that type of thing. The difference between Thumbtack, which you see a lot of Thumbtack stuff, and Thumbtack went with a better option, I think, for the business than a Home Advisor. Home Advisor you pay for if it's a sucky lead or not. If it's somebody testing it out, they give you such a pain in the ass to go through and try to say, hey, okay, this was one of my competitors trying to get prices. It's this big process, and maybe they'll give you the money back and they can still deny it, which is awful business practice, I think. But the benefit to a Thumbtack is that Thumbtack, when they send you the same thing, getting all the information from Jane Doe, from what she needs, the window count, the phone number, all that information, they hide all the good stuff. So they hide the phone number, the email, all that. They just give you kind of the last name and the area. And they send it to you and say, do you want this one? This is what they're looking for. It's a job that has 44 windows, or it's a house that's 3,800 square feet that needs a house wash. Do you want this one? And you can say yes or no. And that benefit is that if somebody says, this house is 912 square feet and they want a house wash, do you want that one? No, I don't want that one because A, if you're living in that house, more than likely the price of that house is not going to be very expensive or worth my time for what I can charge. Or my minimums, which we've talked about, is going to be so high that they're not going to go with it because they know they have a smaller house. But you get to pick and choose. The other nice thing is on the commercial side of things is they send you a lot of stuff that say, hey, there's 2 windows on a storefront. Do you want this one? No, I don't, because we have a minimum. I know what's a good job. I know what's not. Or, hey, here's this job. It's a 900 square foot house and it's an hour away. Do you want it? You get to say no. And then when you do say yes, you click it, it takes a credit or you pay for that lead. Then they give you all the good stuff, just like Home Advisor. Now you have all the information you need to continue to let them know that you exist, and you know that that type of person, if they're inquiring, they want the service. So even down the road, you are able to sell to them in some aspects by having all their information. Another one to kind of look at. Now, just like a Groupon Angies List, a Thumbtack, you don't pay for everything, which is really nice. But a Thumbtack and a Home Advisor, you pay for regardless if you get the job or not. Even if you say, yes, I want it, $25, and you call them up and go, oh, hey, sorry, we just hired somebody, or we decided not to go with it. You really can't get your money back. So keep that in mind, that it costs for them and it's a gamble. Those are the gamble ones. On a little bit of a less gamble and a lower cost, you're talking about reviews or even review sites. Getting your name listed on all of those other lists gets your name out there and helps you SEO. But something like a Yelp is where people go to see reviews. Yelp, Google. Google is the greatest one, I think. SEO guys jump in and tell me I'm wrong, but Google is such a good one because there's so many facets to it, and it's like 70% of the internet, I'm pulling that number out of my butt, but 70% of the internet will use Google to check and do searches. So if you have great reviews, they rank you better because they think you're that much of a better company. So getting people to give you reviews is kind of the tricky part. Now, we all do good work, right? We all know we do good work. That's not what people are going to review you on. If they go, wow, windows were actually clean. Well, no kidding, they're clean. That's what you paid for. It's everything above and beyond. Read some reviews sometime on any site, and it's always going to be above and beyond. Food, okay, the food is really good. That's a common one. But it's going to talk about the service, the people, the atmosphere, the everything else that comes with the experience of buying. That's not just the food. With window cleaning, I don't know that I've ever had a review that said, oh, these guys clean windows really good. They're cleaner than a whistle. Whatever. They don't do that. They don't put that out there because that's the expected. You can't sell, like we've talked about. You can't sell on the expected. But the service or the experience, you can. It's the same reason when you buy an Apple product, why the box costs, $4. It's fancy, it's heavyweight, it's nice, the packaging. It's the experience of the buying product or buying the service in our case. So if you can get that to happen, or if you can let them know you want those reviews, a lot of times if you just let them know and say, hey, after everything's done, is there anything else? Are you 100% satisfied? Love what we did? Oh man, it was great. I couldn't believe it. Oh, I really appreciate that. The best thing you could do for me would be to, if you have the time, go ahead on Google and review our company. Just go in, research, XYZ company, and leave us a review. It would be amazing. It really would help our business out. And if you're genuine about it, your employees are genuine about it, they really want to help you out. Like, oh, that guy, he was such a nice fella. That crew was so nice. Oh, they took their shoes off. Oh, man, I couldn't believe it. I asked them to change that light bulb, and they did it, right? They want to go, and now they want to give you reviews. The greatest thing about reviews, not only does it help your business rank better, but they're selling points for everybody else. Because think of anything you buy online. You look at the reviews for the most part. If you saw something, man, I really want that review, it's given an average 1.4 stars, you're going to be like, oh, crap, I'm wrong. I don't want that. Why? Because there's trust in many. It's a, lemming theory that if lots of people say that they like the taste of horseradish, you're going to like the taste of horseradish because everybody likes it, right? There's a lot of stuff you're like, that's gross. Why does everybody like this stuff? It's the concept in your brain. So the more reviews you have, the better the business looks, the better you rank, and they're free. They're free. Getting reviews are free. It just takes a little bit of work to let people know where to go. Yelp is a good one. Google is a great one. Being any of the search engines that you have, or if you're doing any type of YouTube videos or advertising, thumbs up and even reviews on that is really beneficial. But reviews being free are probably the best thing that you can get out there because it builds trust in people that they've never even met, which is really, really kind of a cool thing. On top of the the reviews themselves are some of the free sites. Now, reviews are free. There's also sites that are free, right? There is the Craigslist. There are OfferUp. There's Let It Go. There's a lot of those for sale sites that have a community area, or they have for sale, they have services, small business page, something like that. Getting it out there is a little bit less people because go on Craigslist one time and search window cleaning. You're going to find 1,000 billion gazillion companies because it's free. Everybody wants to do it. So unfortunately, there's a little bit more to kind of wade through, but you can make a clever, catchy ad to get people to click in and check you out. Or the other thing that I found was the best kind of deal to get really known and seen through those avenues is to go and post regularly, daily, just so that you're always bumped up to the top. Because as you get put in, other people are coming on top of you and it's pushing you farther and farther down. So the more and more you can kind of post, the better off that you'll be, the higher up you'll be put into the rankings, and people will actually be able to see your ads. But that is free. OfferUp and Let It Go. I personally don't advertise any of those because I think it's hokey. When you put a little piece of paper that says window cleaning, it's just weird. It's a little bit different, but it's getting you out there and it's free. So it's definitely something to try. If you get no results with it, it was free. It just costs you some of your time, right? The best thing that you could do for your business is have a strong website, Facebook page, right? Those also, a website's not necessarily free, but keeping it updated can be if you're doing the work yourself, or if you're going through an amazing company. Chris Cartwright, I don't know that he's even taking on new customers. Guy's amazing at what he does. Amazing. And something like that will pay for itself over and over and over and over and over again, and continuing to update it and make it fresh and new and optimizing it. Before I went with Chris, I optimized my own stuff. And I would spend, especially in summer, dog days, that kind of thing, I would spend an entire day optimizing, going through finding sites, just getting it out there so that eventually it helps your page rank. The more places you are, the better you rank. If you start a website right now and you think you're the best window cleaning, pressure washing, carpet cleaning, whatever company in the world, your website's going to suck. It doesn't matter because it takes so much work to get that thing to rank, so much work to SEO it to get it up there, that just putting a site out there is completely pointless unless somebody types in the exact thing that they need. But what it does do is give somebody an ad that they can look at pictures, look at reviews. It's the most important thing. Look at who you are, pictures, the crew, anything, downloadable documents. They can pay their bill on there. All that stuff that they put on there, you got to get people to the site. It doesn't matter what's on the site, they have to get there. That's where SEO comes into play. Either hire somebody for that or get to work on that because it takes a long time. But a Facebook page will... I know, Facebook, right? The death of society. But a Facebook page will allow people to like your page. And if they like your page, others see that they liked your page, and it's the same lemming effect. You get people, oh, they're liking, oh, what are they giving away? A free window cleaning or whatever it is. It offers another avenue to get your face out there. Everybody's on Facebook. There's like more Facebook accounts than there are people on the planet or something. One Facebook account exists for everybody on the planet, something like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Why not advertise on it? A Facebook page is free. Yeah, there's pros and cons to Facebook pages as far as, you can't advertise like you want, but there are boosted posts. If you want to spend money on boosted posts, you can make a ton of money. Back to Dave Carroll. That's what he does. Talk to Dave. You're going to the convention, talk to Dave, take a class, do all that, and he'll show you exactly what to do. But that is all stuff you can do on low cost, and you get high return. Just having the Facebook page is a huge benefit to your company, and it's free. Another way to get customers. Finally, what I think is kind of, no matter how much you spend, you will always see around 40 to 50% of the people you're getting are from this, and it's referrals. Referrals are free. You just got to be decent and nice, and you have to be memorable. Because if you don't remember the last company that serviced your washer and dryer, they weren't memorable, you're not going to tell the next people, oh, I had somebody. I can't remember who it was. Doug? Was his name Doug? Man, I can't remember, right? You have to be memorable to get that. But you also need to be able to utilize those referrals and stay in front of people's faces. That's where referrals even go to listservs. A listserv is like a Nextdoor app, one of those where it's a neighborhood that has a group that they could talk back and forth and say who they liked and who they didn't like. Now, if you piss someone off, you're done in that neighborhood. Like, they will bash you, right? So you just want to make sure to be great, do great work, be super personable and memorable. Be memorable, and they will talk about you. But referrals, if I trust a company and you trust me, say your mother or father says, oh, you know who you should use? You should use XYZ. They're a great company. You're going to go, oh, cool, I'll use them. Because you trust your mother or father, you instantly trust the company. That's where referrals come from. But let people know that you want referrals. We used to do, hey, if you loved our service, here's a slip. Just give this to your friends and family. They'll put your name down and we'll give you a $25 credit on your bill. It was simple. If we got a referral slip in, Jane Smith calls, oh, hey, Don Jenkins told me to call you. Oh, great. Well, we'll make sure to give Don a thank you credit. We just put it in his account. So the next time he comes, they go, hey, Don, you had somebody referred from you, so you get a credit. They love that, right? But letting them know that you want a referral allows them to go and do it for you because they want to help you if they like you, right? If you like somebody, you want to help them. It's just the fact of the matter. So they will help you with referrals. And getting all of that in is really what helps you build a business. Because if you're going to build a business, if you're going to go through all the work to advertise and not die, you're out there selling, there's a lot of other ways you can do it. I mean, we didn't even touch on the EDDM, flyers, and the print stuff. But there's a lot of different ways. And your job is to do as much as you can to bring more clients in. And all the time, all of your free time should be there. Don't get to the point where you would fire you. Get to the point where you'll want to clone yourself. Because it only helps your business. And the more work you do right now will help your business 5 years from now. If you can get a retention, say, of 90% for the next 5 years, that one client you're getting right now, you will have potentially forever until they are done on this planet or done getting their windows cleaned, right? You'll get them for years. So if you can add another 1,000 customers to your repertoire, next year you'll have an extra 900 customers that you can build onto that. That's how building a business happens. You need to sell or die. There you go. And if I'm full of crap, tell me I'm full of crap. Use the hashtag WCR Nation, and let me know. And if you care to be shouted out, which you probably don't, but let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. Definitely love to hear it. But that is it for me. I do want to thank you for checking us out. Now you have all listened to the show. You are part of the elite, smart business owners that are advancing yourself. So hopefully you did learn something from that. But like I said, I am a sales rep with Window Cleaning Resource. Let me know if I can get you any supplies, window cleaning or pressure washing, anything that we offer. I would love to help you get the best price on it, and yeah, makes me awesome. It's like a high five. It's like an awesome high five. So my number 862-312-2026. Give me a shout, text, call me, box me, Facebook message me, or email me, josh@windowcleaningresource.com. And until next week, thanks for watching, and have a great one.